I grew up in Chicago, and so Storm and Norman Van Leer was on the Bulls telecasts, and he'd always reference that toughness of Jerry Sloan. And we talk about great coaches, that the personality of those teams takes on the personality of their coach. And I think the Jazz those years were made in the same vein as the style of play that he played with. And I covered the Spurs for years in San Antonio, and there's all these times that teams were being compared to the Spurs and organizations, and Gregg Popovich always talked about how he basically learned everything he knew about building a franchise from Jerry Sloan. That was a smaller market team, that he knew the same model that Jerry Sloan went through to build up that Jazz program for as many years as he did. That was how Pop modeled what the Spurs were going to be. And obviously it helps to have Karl Malone and John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, and it helps for the Spurs to have Tim Duncan and the great players that they had. But I always found it to be interesting because I think the Jazz those years are so underrated. They ran into the Bulls. Unfortunately for them, they never won a title because of that. But I mean, you're looking at what Malone's third all-time league scorer. Stockton's number one all-time in assists. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that people understand how good those Jazz teams were because they never won, and how good I think Jerry Sloan was because of that, because they never won a title.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because they, it was unfortunate, or fortunate, however you want to see it, is that they had to play against us a lot of times, and they took us to the limits every time. And but Jerry was a big factor of that whole organization changing and becoming what they are today. They're a very good basketball team today, but he's another one that we lost along the way.